This box contains arguably the nicest thing going on this turbo kit, and I cannot wait to test fit it. Let's check it out. Welcome back to the channel, boys. We have some really exciting parts that are finally starting to come in the mail for the B18B turbo build that we are doing right now. In this box right here, like I said, is probably the coolest, nicest, most expensive piece to this whole turbo kit, and it's gonna make it an absolute monster. And let me tell you, when you pop the hood and take a look at this engine with this manifold on it, whew, showstopper. Let's dig into this box and see what we got. Oh, baby. That's right. Feast your eyes on that, guys. We have a private label MFG top mount turbo manifold. This thing is sick, made to order, all hand welded. I mean, just look at the welds on this thing. 44mm V-banded wastegate. We're going to be ordering a Go Fast Bits 44mm V-band wastegate to go on this. Perfect flange for our turbo T3 T4, and all I can say is I am hyped. Once again, private label MFG coming through with the gangster parts for the Civic. If you guys haven't been watching my videos, private label MFG parts are scattered all over this car. I mean, we have their solid shifter bushings, we have their traction bar, we have their seat brackets, now their turbo manifold. I mean, these boys are beauties. If you guys are wondering if you should order some private label MFG parts, this is not sponsored, probably should be. I would highly recommend it. These guys know what they're doing, and this manifold is heinous. Today we're gonna be taking it out and test fitting it on our built B18B. So I gotta drag this engine out, take this out of the box, and get right to it. Now, if this isn't a beautiful sight, I don't know what is. Here we have our private label MFG top mount turbo manifold, manifold gasket, turbo bolts, turbo drilled with the vacuum fitting for boost pressure, all of the fittings, feed line and return line. This is a whole hot side turbo kit ready to rip. Now that we have everything splayed out, let's waste no time. Let's get this on this engine. I do have this Speed Factory titanium hardware to fasten the exhaust manifold on, but I'm not going to be using that today because this is just going on for mock-up purposes. I'm going to put the engine in the car NA, make sure it runs, timing belt and everything is all good. And then I'm going to put the hot side on after the engine is in the car NA. So these are going to wait until the hot side's going on the car and not coming back off. Today I'm just going to reuse the factory studs and we're going to see how this bad unit looks all put together. First things first, let's get this dipstick out of the engine. I don't have a clean cloth here, so I'm just going to use a microfiber, and there's nothing on it anyways. Perfect. Wipe it down and we'll call that perfect. Now let's just go ahead and take all these out, just for the time being. And we are missing a couple studs, but that is no big deal because we don't need them all to put on the manifold. I just need probably 2 or 3 nuts, which are coming from the intake manifold. Let's get this manifold on the car. God, oh baby, come on. I don't know if we'll have to modify our dipstick or not, but we may have to. All right, and like I said, boys, this is just for mock-up, so we're not going heinous. Holy shit! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I'm not sure I've ever seen something as beautiful as this on this engine in my entire life. In fact, I take that back. I know for a fact I've never seen anything as beautiful as this on any of my engines before ever. I mean, just look at this thing. Now that we have this rig on, it's time to put the turbo on top. Let's get our hardware out, get our turbo out, thread these units in for the first time. All the threads and everything seem to be fantastic. One thing I am curious about though is the dipstick. Does it fit? It does. It pretty well rests up against that, so we're gonna have to bend this a little bit, but the dipstick does fit with Private Label's top mount manifold, just in case anyone was wondering. Now let's take the turbo and slap it on, baby. First time the turbo is going on the engine. Let's fucking go. Ooh, we're gonna need to spin the compressor wheel a lot, otherwise that ain't fitting on at all. Okay, back to the drawing board. Let's spin this turbo. So if the turbo is going to be sitting like this, we need this facing the ground. Now, before I tighten it up, let's test fit this compressor wheel location. Got the compressor wheel loose, we can rotate it. Let's see where it wants to be. Ooh, this bolt is in the way. Okay, set back again. We gotta take a couple more fucking bolts out. I actually don't even think we're gonna need these bolts, so this is perfect. Okay, I'm not exactly sure where it's gonna wanna sit entirely. Holy fucking shit. Okay, just snugged it up for the meantime, but holy shit, boys. I don't think y'all are ready to see this engine I have behind me. You ready for this? Take a peek at this, boys. Boys, I am almost in shock right now. I mean, just look at this thing. Private Label manifold, got the turbo on. Holy shit. This thing looks insane, man. I cannot wait to get this running in the car. This is one of the craziest engine setups I've ever put together or had. I'm obsessed. This is so fucking sick. I mean, just look at the welds on these boys. So basically what we're gonna do for the rest of this kit is, this is a 44mm V-band. We are gonna go ahead and get a Go Fast Bits 44mm V-band. That's just probably gonna vent to atmosphere. And then I need to get a 5-bolt turbo flange for this. And I'm gonna get my fabricator to weld up a downpipe, and then it's gonna go straight under. And it's just basically gonna go straight out the back of the car with a vibrant ultra quiet resonator and a vibrant race muffler, just to reduce the noise and rasp a little bit. But indeed, this setup is going down and under the car. It's not going out the hood. As much as I do want to go out the hood, when this kind of dies down and we've had our fun with it, I would like to go K-Series. And K-Series, if you don't know, this is how B-Series sits in the engine bay. The exhaust side is right by the radiator support at the front of the car, and the intake side is against the firewall where the windshield is. K-Series is 180'd, it's flipped. Right here, right by the radiator support, is where the intake manifold is, and right back here is where the exhaust is on the firewall near the windshield with a K-Series. So basically, if I do a up pipe and shoot it straight out the hood, when I do K-Series, I'm gonna have to make another hole in the hood back here. So instead of sourcing out 2 hoods and getting them painted and this and that, I'm just gonna take the simple way, make the B-Series go out the back of the car, and then when I go K-Series, it's gonna come and shoot flames straight out the hood. I know you guys wanted to see a hood exit, and I promise it's coming, but considering this car will eventually be K-Series, I figured it's best to chop the hole in the hood with the K-Series in it, considering the exhaust is on the back, not the front. But this thing is insane. I do have Speed Factory titanium to hold on the manifold to the head. It's not on right now because it's just for mock-up. And I also have Speed Factory titanium dress up for the valve cover. We still got to paint this wrinkle black. It's a little bit cold to paint out, but we got to get this done really quick. Then we need our oil pan drilled right here for an oil drain. I'll give you guys kind of a demo here. Here's our oil drain, and basically it's gonna go from the turbo right about there, and it's gonna go right into the oil pan just like that. It's probably gonna have to like come in here with an elbow and go down behind the exhaust manifold and then drain right back into the oil pan. Probably right about there is where it's gonna drain. So even though this is really short, we don't even need all of this, and we'll put a couple 45 or 90 degree bends so it can run behind the manifold and drain right into here. And then as far as the feed line goes, let's see if this fits. We need to get another Speed Factory racing product. We have a lot of their stuff. Titanium dress up, and we're gonna get their oil sandwich plate to go in between the block and the filter. And basically this line is gonna run from the oil filter, come up around here on the valve cover, and I'm gonna get some P-clamps to kind of hold it in this little galley right here. And I'm gonna P-clamp it, and it's gonna go straight into the turbo right there, just like that. It's gonna feed the turbo with oil, and then it's gonna drain back in the front side to the pan. That is our oil feed and drain completely figured out. I already have everything for that. In fact, right here is the bung to weld onto the oil pan that I got to get my fabricator to do. So basically we just need a wastegate, a screamer pipe, a down pipe, and full exhaust. Oil pan bung welded, Speed Factory racing sandwich plate, intake manifold back on. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. This car has a B16A in it right now, and B16A intake manifolds flow really well, better than B18B. So do I just say because we're turbo it doesn't really matter, we'll just put the B18B intake manifold on, or do I take the B16 intake manifold and put the B16 intake manifold on the B18B? Let me know in the comments below, B16A intake manifold or B18B intake manifold. I will do whatever you guys tell me, but like, I just can't get over how this looks. I mean, would you just look at that setup for a second? Oh my God. And aside from that, it's really just buying an eBay intercooler kit because they're cheap, easy, they work. You don't feel bad about chopping them up to make them fit. And then this car is fully boosted. Right now we got the hot side done. We need to finish up one or two things for the oil supply, fabricate, and get all the welding done that I just went over, slap on an intercooler kit, injectors, fuel pump, what do you know? We're making 300 plus wheel in this unit with a built B18B boosted until we go K-Series. So boys, if you guys enjoy this and like the looks of that, I mean, you'd kind of have to be a psychopath not to enjoy the look of that. This thing looks amazing. Amazing. I love it. It's one of the nicest things I've ever put together and looked at myself. So if any of this excites you, go ahead, hit that subscription button right now, turn on the bell notification so you get notified when I post more about this crazy turbo setup, and finish it off with a like and comment B16A intake manifold or B18B intake manifold. And until the next video guys, I'll catch you later. Comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate you boys. Get excited. Peace out.